for the sounds of spirit. Linda Ely on piano, Oliver on bass, and David with us again on drums. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Well, let's get this thing started.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Here's an oldie but a goodie. I'm sure you know the words. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, hammer in the evening, all over this land. I would hammer out danger, and I'd hammer out a warning. I hammer out the love between everybody all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning. I ring it in the evening, all over the land. I would ring out danger. Ooh, I would ring out a warning. I ring out the love between my brothers and sisters all over this land. Woo! If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning. I sing it in the evening, all over the land. I would sing out danger. Oh, I would sing out a warning. I sing out the love between brothers and sisters all over this land. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer injustice. I'd ring in freedom. I would sing it all over this big land. I would sing out danger. Whoa, I would sing out a warning. I sing out the love between everybody all over this land. All over this land. I'm gonna sing my song. I'm gonna ring my bell. All over the land. I wanna hammer all over this land, all over the land. Get it, Linda. Thank you. Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. Keep standing so we can sing our congregational song. Before we start that, if you have your cell phone, call somebody, text somebody, tell them, I'm having a fantastic Sunday. You better get here to Universal Spirit Center. And that's you too online. Text somebody, say, I'm watching them. Send it to them. Let them know. Also, we have some very exciting news coming up. October the 15th. October the 15th.
October 15th.
October the 15th.
October
It's
15th.
Barbecue and Blues concert, baby. Barbecue and Blues with a 6-piece band. We talk about a funky, funky guitar, a harmonica that'll do it. And then Carolyn and Al are cooking the food. They are burning it up, baby. Your tickets will go on sale next week. The tickets will go on sale next week at our picnic Next week the tickets go on sale. It's gonna be a fun time, so you wanna make sure you come and get your barbecue and your blues on. And if you're a vegetarian, do not worry, baby. We got you. We got you. And for those of you, some of you know today, after the second gathering, after this gathering, we're going to the Awash Ethiopian restaurant to gather for great stimulating conversation, some fantastic food, and some time to be in another culture and experience that together. So if you didn't sign up, you can still go. It's very close to here, right after the second gathering. Woo! All right, y'all. Come on. Here we go. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love makes this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. And may the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love makes this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit gonna shine on me. And may the light of the Spirit shine on each and every one of you. As God's grace and love makes this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on, shine on, shine on the Spirit. Let the love and shine on. That Spirit shine, shine, shine. You wanna feel it all the time. Shine on, shine on, shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine. Oh, may the light always shine. May the light shine. Shine on each and every one of you. Shine.
You know, you're kicking us off in the best spirit ever. You got the we need some Geno energy, right? Everybody needs to start a little Genoism, right? Thank you. Whew. So great to be here. So I'm Reverend Sarah. I get to be here today and welcome you to Universal Spirit Center and welcome everybody online as well. And just claim that we are an open, inclusive, thriving spiritual community, that we are dedicated to facilitating experiences of divine love in ourselves and in each other, and beholding that and holding that for the greater community around us and our world. So I join with you in affirming that and anchoring in that right here and now. So welcome. So this is our time to be joyful and be intentional together. So thank you for being here, and I am going to start us off by calling up our beloved Johnny for youth ministry.
Thank you. Good morning, family. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood indeed. Today we're talking about the equinox. Thursday is the equinox, equal parts day and night. We're talking about balance, light and dark. We have some balance-based activities and discussion. So the more the merrier. Come bring your kids to youth ministry. Have a great day.
Okay, and then we're going to have announcements, but I forgot to say that if you're new, we welcome you from wherever you are, and that Rev Kevin is actually our senior minister, and he's away for today, so we'll just let him know he's having a great time today, and welcome everyone who's here, and we'll welcome up Borghild is going to do an announcement first for us. Here you go.
So good morning. My first announcement is that the grief group, some of you have attended the grief group in the past, and it's coming up again for the month of October for 5 weeks. And so we welcome you. There's a space for you there. If you're grieving the loss of a loved one, if you're grieving the loss of a relationship, if you're grieving the loss of a job, if you're grieving the loss of a home, whatever it is that your grief is, that is in you, there is a safe place for you. And so I invite you to join us on the first Monday of October for the next 5 weeks. There is a sign-up sheet on the yes table, and I will reach out to you before the first meeting. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosai. I have the rest of the announcements for today. Wednesday, September 21st, is United Nations International Day of Peace. To honor this day, Centers for Spiritual Living, Heart of Peace offers 24 hours of meditations. Multiple peace meditations will be presented on Centers for Spiritual Living's Facebook page and on the YouTube channels. See Wednesday tab on our website for more detailed information. Universal Spirit Center will have a tuning fork meditation at the Lions Club, 6:30 to 7:30, but it's online only. Our Racial Equality Project. We do have a call to action here. The timing of the Hispanic Heritage Month, which is this month, coincides with the Independence Day celebrations of several Latin American nations. September 15th was chosen as the kickoff because it coincides with the Independence Day celebrations of 5 Central American neighbors: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Those 5 nations declared their independence from Spain on September 15th, 1821. And I heard somebody tell me that Mexico was on September 16th. Watch the video to find out more about our Hispanic family. See the link on our racial equality page on our website. Now we'll turn to our history. On this day, September 15th in 1963, a white man detonated a bomb under the steps of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, with 400 congregants inside. 4 black children were killed in the blast. To overcome racial inequality, we must confront our history. We all are part of our history. So we're turning 21, and we're having a celebration in the park on September 25th after the second gathering. It's also being catered by a Greek restaurant donated by a generous member. So we're looking for volunteers to help us set up and tear down. There's a sign-up sheet on the yes table, so please consider that. Again, it's September 25th after the second gathering. It's a celebration in the park. And I wanted to thank the band for the music for today. But I have to admit, there is a genre of music that I just do not like. And do you want to know what that is? It's elevator music. You want to know why? Because it's so boring on all levels.
We would not be complete without our Bob dad joke for the day. Thank you, Bob. So now is our time to greet each other and welcome each other in community. So let's stand, and I'm going to have you first turn around and greet our community online at the camera right below the clock in the back. So welcome, whoever's joining us, wherever and whenever you are. Thank you for being with us. And then let's join and greet each other. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
how wonderful it is to greet each other and to be in community and to feel the love. Yes. And so at this moment, I'm going to do a centering, a brief centering to you, where we're going to get in centered and open up the space we need for the reading and the meditation, and then I will bring you back with a prayer. And so just in this moment, I just invite you to take a nice deep breath. And do that again. And so as you take the next breath, I just want you to follow it in through the nose, down into the throat, and deep down into your belly, and just be with it. That feels good. And our reading this morning is from our founder, Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind. There is a power that simply awaits our recognition of it, to spring into our thought as an unfailing leading and unerring guidance. To those who lean on the ever outstretched arm of the infinite, life is big with limitless possibilities. We must wait and listen, then go about our outer business with an inner conviction that we are being led into a more perfect expression of life. All can do this. is one life. There is one power. There is God. And in that one life and that one power that expresses as you and as me, each one of you gathered here this morning in these seats and in our online family, there is that power, there is that God. And I am knowing that the God of my understanding is one of peace, is one of wholeness, is one of limitless possibilities. Right here and right now, I claim those possibilities, knowing that this space is full of them, knowing that this God that wraps himself around everything and everyone is love. How wonderful it is to know that the love that surrounds each one of us here this morning in our gathering, as each one of you and as me, as in the words of Rev Sarah, as in the voice of our beloved music director Gino, as in the band, our house band right behind me, the love that prepared so lovingly this space for us to be here this morning. I can feel it, and I hold it for myself and for each one of you gathered here this morning and for our world. And so a mighty blessing on all of this. And so it is.
Trust love, trust love, trust God, that love is everywhere. We are here to be the perfect givers of our love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. Trust love, trust love, trust God, that love is everywhere. We are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. No one ever loses when one trusts love, for love is something that will never fail. Love is the essence of our spirit that is known by always giving. Love always sees the truth beyond the appearance that is showing. Love judges not, and love renews. Yes, love renews. Love is a healer. Oh, yes, it is. Love loves to love. Love loves to love. And we'll keep on being love. And we'll keep on being love. This is its only way. So trust love. Trust love. Trust God. our spirit that is known by always giving. Love always sees the truth beyond the appearance that is showing. Love judges not, and love renews. Yes, love renews. Love is a healer. Oh, yes, it is. Love loves to love. Love loves to love. And we'll keep on being love. And we'll keep on being love. This is His holy way. So treasure love and lean on love. Trust God, then love is everywhere. That we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love. And love will have the final word. We are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love. And love will have the final word. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Gino. Oh, like I said, just getting those daily infusions of Gino's essence is always spiritually fulfilling for me, so thanks. So I think that's really the essence of it, right? When we're talking about welcoming in the new, is trusting that there's something new coming through. It's a wonderful theme to have this month of what we want to welcome in. And I like this idea of seasons and cycles, that there's a time of this time of year when we come into an opportunity for newness. Like for me, I work in education, so there's a new school year. And I think about coming into something new with an opportunity to learn and be something new. It's funny seeing some of the kids come back from the summer with a completely different identity, a different look, and wow, they just reinvented themselves over the summer. But I also think about how it's about looking at what we learned and feeling what we learned before, and then sometimes we forget over the summer what we learned, and then we have to come back and remember and learn at a deeper level. And I think that's true for me, certainly. It's also the time of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Again, there's a time for something to start new, but there's also a time to reckon with what was and how it's been and how it is, and really be present to whatever mistakes we've made or agreements we did not live up to, or things that we were not able to be, and how we can be honest and real with that, and in the midst of that, have an ability to step into a new way of being and to transform and learn from that. So it's a sacred time. It's also this month, there's a Hindu celebration I just learned about called Navratri, and it's a celebration of 9 goddesses over 9 days, and the expression of all the different divine qualities we get to celebrate and embody. So what a wonderful way to step into something new and a new way of being. So when I think about that, the spiritual life we're on, this spiritual path, it is about trusting that there's always something new coming through. And I think that's the essence of a spiritual life, is that I always say it comes down to context and consciousness, that we have a consciousness to know a truth, and we have the context to know that it's in this larger story of something always unfolding. There's something always asking us and beckoning us to unfold and reveal and open up to a deeper experience of itself, as only it can be through us. So the context, the story, if we choose with our consciousness to believe that and to seek that, is to know that there is always an opportunity, whatever the circumstance, whatever the condition, whatever the moment in time, that that moment can be a moment of awakening, no matter how painful or broken or limited or powerless we may feel, that we can know a kernel of truth with our consciousness, that it is serving us to awaken and experience something greater than we're feeling in that moment. So I think that's the most powerful thing we can do and live into in a spiritual path. So that consciousness is that we get to return and remember this truth time and again. And some of us maybe with ADD have to return like 1,000 times. Like sometimes I can go off on the story and man, that story is juicy and it keeps sticking in me. And I have to remember, no, that's not the truth. This is the truth. Okay, I've got to remember back and forth. But I have consciousness. I can remember as many times as it takes. And it is actually in the awakening. The awakening happens when I remember. So it's actually kind of good that I forget and I get to remember because it builds a deeper muscle every time I remember. So I was looking through some things, reviewing some old notes, and came across a course I took in the Kabbalah, which is a book of writings of Jewish mysticism. And there's something about the Jewish mystics that really, like their metaphors really to me, can attempt to grasp and describe this infinite that we have a hard time kind of bringing into the here and now. And so there was this idea of light and how it transforms itself. That really speaks to me. And it says, this passage said, when powerful light is concealed and clothed in a garment, it's revealed. Though concealed, the light is actually revealed. For were it not concealed, it could not be revealed. This is like wishing to gaze at the dazzling sun. Its dazzle conceals it, for you cannot look at its overwhelming brilliance. Yet when you conceal it, looking at it through a screen, you can see and not be harmed. So it is with emanation. By concealing and clothing itself, and it reveals itself. So with the appearance of light, the universe expanded. And with the concealment of the light, the things that exist were created in all their variety. So I think about like the light that we couldn't actually see unless it was like clothed and put into a finite individual expression as each of us. There's something that couldn't actually be revealed unless it was expressing in the unique size and shape and texture and color that we are, how we show up particularly in this universal experience. So it's for that to remember that every moment of our unique path in life is actually the light revealing itself through the, what may be feeling like it's concealed. So thinking about newness, I think the newness that we're welcoming in at this time is actually just like an uncovering or a peeling away of whatever garb has been concealing it so we can experience it a little bit more. But it has to happen right in the midst of who we are and where we are in this moment. So I came across a story that a friend of mine posted on Facebook, and she is a person of, maybe more statuesque or larger boned or bigger, fuller figured, whatever you want to say. But when she grew up feeling fat and feeling too big and feeling that that was ugly and unworthy and not good enough. And she had, she was teased for her size, and one of the names or labels she was given was whale, like she's as big as a whale. So this was harmful or hurtful for her. But she recalls going on a field trip with her school and going on a trip on a boat to the ocean to go whale watching. And she remembers the first moment she saw this whale kind of breach and it's all its majesty and beauty just flow in the ocean, and just beholding how beautiful it was and the grace it had and the majesty. She had an instant awakening to a different understanding of large and how beautiful that is. And in that moment, she was able to bring in a new understanding of feeling and feeling beautiful for being large, because that was the beauty of the kings and queens of the ocean, these whales. And so it made me think like, wow, like we're really welcoming a newness right in the heart of something that feels like it's hard or painful or we're stuck with, that newness actually comes through us right here. It doesn't come through like somewhere over here where we've done some work and all of a sudden we're magically different. It has to be right here in the very midst of what feels human and hard. So, so the context or the consciousness that we use about that, I chose the reading today because it's about trusting that there's this infinite idea of limitless possibilities that's always leading us to experience itself. So we can trust that and let that guide us in the midst of what's happening, whatever the cycle is. We can trust that there is a cycle, that there is a rhythm, that there is a time for growth and expansion, and there's a time for quiet and stillness or hardness or melancholy. I was listening to a podcast, because you know I do those a lot, and this one I like in particular is called We Can Do Hard Things with Glennon Doyle and Abby and her another co-host, and they were talking about this season, these cycles, and one of the hosts was saying that she experiences sometimes like a period of melancholy or depression where it just feels like she's withdrawn and quiet, and it's uncertain and scary, and it doesn't feel comfortable. And it's not like when she's all expressed and fully in her glory. It's these times that feel kind of dark. And the other co-host was sharing that she was with her daughter. They were researching a project for school, and they researched this cycle of life for a crab. And that the crab, when it's getting ready to molt, it's kind of like a melancholy molting. And the crab loses its shell, and it goes into like a place of darkness, like whether a cave or something that's retreating, so that it can grow a new shell. And when it starts to grow that new shell, it's kind of a soft, vulnerable shell. And it kind of made me think about soft-shell crabs. Like, I don't know that I'll eat them again, just as a side note. But you know, this crab, it grows its new shell, and for a time, it's vulnerable, and it's kind of soft, and it's kind of weak in a way. It feels like it's uncertain. You know, its next growth, its next emanation hasn't quite formed yet. So it's just recognizing that there's a cycle to that there is a time when we have that uncertainty before we're birthing into whatever's new, and to give ourselves some space and grace for that. So when we're feeling uncertain, or things feel scary or hard or limited, there's an opportunity for us to give ourselves a moment of space and just let that be what it is, and have an understanding that there's something new that wants to birth through that, and to allow that to be for the time and welcome that in a way. So there was they also talked about a quote from Rainier Rilke that I thought spoke to this idea. And he's a melancholy poet. You know, he's had his moments of melancholy molting, and he's talking to another young poet who's also having a melancholy molting moment. And he says, "So you mustn't be frightened if a sadness rises in front of you, larger than any you have ever seen. If an anxiety like light and cloud shadows moves over your hands and over everything you do, you must realize that something is happening to you, that life has not forgotten you, that it holds you in its hand and it will not let you fall. Why do you want to shut out your life any uneasiness, any misery, any depression, since after all you don't know what work these conditions are doing inside you? Since after all you know that you're in the midst of transitions and you wished for nothing so much as to change." So I think that's it for us, not to minimize at those times that are hard, but to at least have an opening to be willing to have it be a moment of opportunity for newness for us, for growth, for transformation, and that it needs to happen in the very midst that there's something working through us, even in the midst of that what feels hard or scary or limiting, that there's a context, that it all belongs. And so that's really the key, is that we can behold it with grace and know that it all belongs and it's working for us, because we know that our consciousness is powerful. It's a powerful thing, and that we know when we seek and declare and claim something, that creates a space for it to happen. So just by the fact of claiming an experience for our good allows it to be for our good, regardless of what the circumstances and how
hard or painful or challenging it may be. So I think that's an important part to welcoming the newness, is having that consciousness and that context, to knowing that everything is working and everything is working through us and supporting our transformation, and claiming that consciously, intentionally. But I also think the key is to be open to that wisdom and the growth that wants to happen, and know that that wisdom comes through all sorts of sources and places. It could be intellectually, like knowing and doing a spiritual reading, or going to a talk, or taking a class. Certainly there is a place for the mental, intellectual pursuit of doing an affirmative prayer and claiming something. But there's something even more important, I think, that's more powerful, which is embodying the truth and letting it come through us in all the different ways it can. Wisdom comes through, it can come through our bodies. It could come through intuition and instinct. It could come from song, like Gino's song, or poetry, or art, or nature, like the whale. You know, there was something, she went into that experience not knowing that she could be different, and just encountering the majesty of in nature awakened, that was a wisdom that came through that wasn't, intellectually known per se. So Ernest Holmes talks a lot about that it's the importance of embodiment. One of my favorite quotes is, he says, "Undoubtedly we are surrounded by and immersed in a perfect life, a complete, normal, happy, sane, harmonious, and peaceful existence. But only as much of this life as we embody will really become ours to use." So I think about welcoming in the felt sense of what it is we want to experience. So part of welcoming the new is to know that whatever's happening is birthing something new, and sometimes letting the constriction or the pain kind of push us in the direction we need to grow in. But then there's another aspect where we can let the embodiment and the imagination of what that quality of God is pull us in the new direction. So I was listening to an interview with one of my favorite spiritual teachers lately. Her name's Acharya Shanya, and if you took Sovereign Self-Mastery with me, we read Sovereign Self, her book. But she has a new book out called Roar Like a Goddess. And she's talking about, in Hinduism, there's these different goddesses and deities, all sorts of deities, but that behind all of those expressions is a formless ultimate reality that's wanting to reveal itself. And so the gods and the goddesses are just tools for us to access it and to live into it in a way that may have been hidden to us before. So she talks about a story when she was 8 or 9, and she's going to school, and she has had the experience of being bullied. And she would walk down the corridor, and then she'd encounter this bully, and she would just feel the dread of feeling intimidated and fear and put down by this person. And so it came to be that she would just dread going to school the next day. And I don't know if any of you can relate, but I know that there have been times where I just dreaded the next day. Like there was, whatever situation I was in was just so intolerable. I could not stand another moment. So that dread was there, but she had to go to school. And so the next morning, though, something sparked in her memory, and she remembered the story of the goddess Durga. And Durga is this powerful mother figure in the Hindu cosmology. And she is a goddess that is powerful, and she is this powerful force that combats evil for the power of good, and she's a force for liberation of the oppressed, and she's just the ultimate expression of good triumphing over evil, and the ultimate wrathful, like powerful destruction of what doesn't work in order to have a space for creation of what does. So here's this little 8-year-old, and all of a sudden she's walking to school, and she remembers the story, and she's imagining herself as Durga. And all of a sudden, in her mind, she's clothed in the beautiful garb of the goddess, and she's riding to school on a lion, because that's the image that Durga is often depicted as. So she's walking to school, and she's imagining she's on this lion, and she can feel the thud of the pad of the lion's paw on the pavement, and she's just feeling this powerful space, and she's just embodying it. And so by the time she gets to school, she is in this embodied feeling of empowerment. And so when she comes down the hall and she encounters this bully, she doesn't even have to say a word, but she meets her eyes for the first time, and she knows that she's this powerful being, and there is nothing that person can say that could diminish that. And so from that moment on, she had lived into that powerful space. and embodied a different, she expanded into an experience of the divine in that aspect, of the aspect of power and freedom and liberation. And so that is something that she was open to and she felt in her body. And so sometimes I don't know that she could have like logically got herself from dread to empowerment through just a mental exercise. It really needed to be embodied for her to live into. So when I think about that, I think about what are we willing to embody? If you can think of a experience maybe that feels constriction, or maybe that this is a place for you to grow into, this is a place for you to experience something new, what does it feel like? Because I think we have the capacity to imagine. So can you imagine, what does it feel like to feel freedom? Or maybe what does it feel like to feel empowered or abundant? Or I know like recently I was having an experience, and I think Kevin shared about his experiences too, last week, that the opportunity for growth in relationships, it's a ripe environment for growth, let me tell you. And so I found myself in a situation where I had gone around this old pattern one more time. It's like I was coming back from the summer and I had forgotten all these lessons I learned. And I'm like, how am I in this space again? But the lesson for me was what was new for me was to imagine, what do I want to feel like in a healthy and loving relationship? What is the embodied felt sense of love, of belonging, of freedom, of empowerment, of partnership, of being supported, like all those felt experiences. And then I'm just living into that experience, and the universe can just pour itself into whoever is before me and reflects that back to me, because I'm in that felt vibration of love and support and empowerment, and that's what shows up. So that's what I'm asking for us for the newness, is what can you embody, what can you imagine and feel into to have that experience for yourself? And I'll close with this. I think I always try to close with this, which is that when we do this spiritual work, it's such a powerful thing, an empowering thing, to claim every experience is for our good, to let nothing be wasted. That is a deeply powerful expression and statement in the world. And when you do that work for yourself, you're doing that work on behalf of our whole human race. Because we know that there's one consciousness, and so whatever is healed in your consciousness is helping heal the race consciousness, the collective consciousness. I was listening to a conversation with some folks about what's happening and all of us being born in this time, and there's the time of pandemic and disruption and the divisiveness and all the things that are hard. And the person was saying she feels like it's for us, that we're born in this time to be spiritual elders, and that we are helping birth a new experience in our world, and that by us having the context to do the inner work and taking it on and confronting whatever is hard or unjust or oppressive, and really doing the work in ourselves and in the world, that is what births a new world, a new consciousness. So I think it's for all of us to be spiritual elders and do our own work and powerfully claim everything is serving our good. We're not letting any experience be wasted. We're letting it grow us into a new experience of good, of grace, of peace, of freedom, of love. So I'm going to close with a poem by Dana Falds. It's about awakening. It's called Awakening Now. And she says, "Why wait for your awakening? The moment your eyes are open, seize the day. Would you hold back when the beloved beckons? Would you deliver your litany of sins like a child's collection of seashells prized and labeled? No, I can't step across the threshold, you say, eyes downcast. I'm not worthy. I'm afraid my motives aren't pure. I'm not perfect, and surely I haven't practiced enough. My meditation isn't deep, and my prayers are sometimes insincere. I still chew my fingernails, and the refrigerator isn't clean. Do you value your reasons for staying small more than the light shining through the open door? Forgive yourself. Now is the only time you have to be whole. Now is the sole moment that exists to live in the light of your true self. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Please, oh please, don't continue to believe in your disbelief. This is the day of your awakening." So thank you.
Reverend Sarah. That was awesome. I love the lion. I'm going to think about that. I love the lion. Yeah. Feel the pattern. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. Pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we'll need. We are the world. We are the children. I like that, Margot. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a brighter day. Just you and me. Your hearts, so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free. God has shown us by turning stone to bread, and so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a brighter day. So let's start giving. And there's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a brighter day. Just you and me. Yeah. When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe, there's no way you'll fall. Wow, realize all the change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making. We gotta save our own lives. It's true, we make a brighter day. Just you and me. Come on, everybody, come on. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving, giving, giving. There's a choice we're making. Don't you know we can save our own lives? It's true, we make a brighter day. You and me. Yeah, yeah. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Yeah. voices were in my head. We are the one that make a brighter day. So let's let each and every one of us start doing what?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Gino Walker is our music director. Oh my God. Speaking of giving, what a beautiful segue. Thank you for the musical introduction to our time for giving and receiving. So my name's Lee Armentrout. I am one of the prayer practitioners here at our center, and I'm also the office administrator. So a couple things I want to share with you. Me in my position, you know, I see the money come in and I see the money go out. And it's one thing that always occurs to me when I'm counting that money or we're writing checks is gratitude. Gratitude for the person sitting in your chair. So much gratitude from whether it's $1 or whether it's $10,000. There's so much gratitude. We do this work because it's supported. We do this work because it's supported financially, and we do this work because it's supported in consciousness. So that's also what I wanted to share, is that there's been an evolution of consciousness for me about giving. I've been in the back of a church with my crumpled $1 bill, angry that I had to give it to them. I remember doing that, and now this consciousness through just coming here every Sunday, listening to beautiful messages and beautiful songs, that there's something inside of me now that is an awareness that there's what I give is being lent. It's being multiplied simply by my letting it go. And then when you're doing this, all that goodness just comes right back in. So it's a cycle. You know that. I'm talking to the choir here. So I just invite you to financially support our center to do the good work that we do. Place your hands over your heart if you're willing. Close your eyes if you like. And use this metaphor as at the center of your life is your heart. But also use it as the center of your life is this open place that doesn't restrict. It simply opens and flows. So that goodness that God is embodied in the center of your life. So we know that this is only good, and what can come from that is only better. So it is.
Take it from the top. Oh yeah, feel that gratefulness in your body. Grateful, grateful, grateful for all the love that I have. Grateful, grateful, grateful for all the love that I have. I am so grateful. So very grateful. I am right to me and speaks to my. I just give thanks for all the simple things, the joy and peace that gratitude brings. That's why I'm grateful, so very grateful. I am grateful for all the love that I have. I am so grateful, so very grateful. I am grateful for all the love that I have.
Awesome. I'm grateful for you, grateful for us. So this concludes our service. Let's stand up, our gathering today, and let's just join in an intentional, powerful knowing that life is good all the time, that life is for us, that there is something good awakening and birthing itself through us, through our community, and through our world. And so we go forward knowing that, affirming that, and allowing it to be a powerful presence in our life. Yes? Yes. Okay, and so it is.
Out. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love makes this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and loves make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. Shine on, shine on, shine your light, shine your light, shine on, shine on, shine. May the light of your Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. Universal Spirit Center, I want you to have a fantastic Sunday. Shine your light wherever you go today. And when people say, hey, who are you? Why are you shining so? Say, I'm from Universal Spirit Center, doggone it. That's why I'm shining so bright. So shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on. Shine on today. Those online, make sure you like us on Facebook. Give us a subscribe bell on YouTube and retweet us on Twitter. Shine your light, y'all. Hey, hey, hey.